Hi, I'm Tariq Covington, founder and chief strategist of Covariate. This presentation, Beyond Frequency, is the executive summary of my master's treatise research, focused on smarter strategies for consumer feedback engagement. At Covariate, we believe that data only matters if it's human-centered, and that's exactly what I set out to prove. Here's the journey we'll take. First, the problem driving this research. Then, the key questions I asked, the methodology I used, and the theoretical frameworks that grounded the work. From there, we'll look at what didn't work, what did, how that translates into a stronger feedback strategy, and finally, the actionable insights leaders can take away. Companies are asking for far more feedback than ever before, but getting less value from it. Consumers are tuning out, surveys feel transactional, and people often feel like a data point rather than a voice. The result? Lower response rates, weaker data, and eroded trust. More requests don't equal better feedback. That's why I asked, how can we design surveys that minimize fatigue and maximize response quality? To answer this, I studied 5 key behavioral drivers: timing, frequency, incentives, personalization, and delivery method. My goal was to uncover which levers actually move engagement. To test this, I surveyed 274 US adults, each of whom had received a feedback request within the past 3 months. The survey combined Likert scales and multiple choice questions and took about 5 minutes to complete. I analyzed the data using correlation, chi-square, regression, and ANOVA in SPSS, with a focus on timing, fatigue, incentives, engagement, and delivery method. This study wasn't just built on data, it was built on psychology as well. I applied behavioral economics to capture timing and perceived value associated with the survey, cognitive load theory to reduce the mental effort required to take the survey, self-determination theory to measure intrinsic motivation and incentives, and the elaboration likelihood model to design a survey so that it could feel natural and human. When I dug into the data, some assumptions didn't hold up. First, with respect to frequency, sending more surveys didn't boost responses. Second, with fatigue, while people do get tired of surveys, it wasn't the main reason they ignored them. And third, with respect to belief in action, simply telling people their feedback would lead to change didn't push them to respond. The bigger truth, more reminders and good intentions didn't drive engagement. People were looking for surveys that felt relevant, easy, and worth their effort. What did move the needle were 3 things. The right message delivered the right way. People responded when surveys came through methods they preferred, like email or text. With respect to timing, requests sent right after a transaction saw stronger engagement. And third, incentives, tangible rewards like gift cards or discounts, were the most effective motivators. The lesson here is that people engage when it's easy, timely, and feels worth their effort. From these findings, a stronger feedback strategy emerges. Start with short, mobile-friendly surveys to reduce effort. Send requests at the right moment, not just more often. Use channels that people prefer. Layer in simple, effective incentives. Personalize based on prior interactions. And most importantly, build trust. Each of these steps compounds into higher engagement and better insights. So, what does this mean for leaders? Focus on quality over quantity. Timing, channels, and incentives matter more than volume. Keep surveys short, human, and clear. Personalization fosters loyalty, and transparency builds trust. And the covariate truth, better engagement isn't about more ask, it's about better ones. Better engagement isn't about asking more, it's about asking better. At Covariate, we bring humanity back to data and make feedback meaningful again. If this resonates, I'd love to connect. We can be reached via email at hello@askcovariate.com. We're available on LinkedIn and also on our website. Let's shape insights that drive clarity, empathy, and impact together.